Discover Europe's last truly isolated mountain villages, where time moves as slowly as the glacial waters. The spectacular colors of autumn in the mountain valleys remind us that this season is both a harvest celebration and preparation for winter.
For centuries, this well has been the heart of the village, a gathering place for water, gossip, and news.
This traditional process transforms the harvest into wine, connecting mountain communities to the landscape through hand milking forges an intimate bond between farmer and animal, a daily tradition sustained by these simple tools. A tradition since 1847, this family mark identified our bread at the communal oven. For centuries, these fountains served as vital community hubs, where villagers gathered to collect fresh water and share the day's news. These arcades were essential medieval infrastructure, allowing community life to continue regardless of weather conditions. The integrated house-stable design keeps the animals warm through shared walls, a tradition blending necessity with preservation.
Carved by glaciers over millennia, the valley's distinctive green color comes from fine glacial sediment suspended in the water.
The traditional hay harvest demands perfect weather timing and community cooperation. Neighbors help.
The chapel served as a vital waypoint for shepherds moving flocks to high pasture and the site of spring.
These Alpine breeds have lived in these mountains for thousands of years, and their milk produces the region's famous mountain cheeses.
This 1683 grain chest, passed down as dowry furniture through female lines.
Villagers once climbed these steps daily, carrying everything from firewood to food supplies, particularly through.
These passages often led to shrines or chapels, and the challenging ascent was considered spiritually meaningful.
Maintained by community labor, the path faces seasonal challenges from rockfall and ice, constantly threatening its stability.
The construction methods used in 1687 ensured these doors stood the test of time.
The distinctive characteristics of mountain cheeses come from high-altitude milk and specific aging conditions.
This church, built in the 1600s, served as a spiritual anchor for this isolated mountain community.
Water-powered machinery like this was essential infrastructure, allowing mountain communities to process timber for construction and trade.
Specialized tools were essential for the seasonal tasks of the agricultural calendar, requiring craft knowledge to make. These bridges had to be rebuilt regularly after the spring floods. The villagers developed special techniques to.
In these mountains, a rainbow is more than light and rain. It is a divine sign.
The key is understanding the physics of cold versus hot smoking. We carefully select wood species for flavor profiles.
Flowing continuously for millennia, this sacred waterfall is believed by locals to be a dwelling place of the mountain spirits.
We stand beneath the same stars as our ancestors knew, yet for most, this ancient connection. While electric light extends the day, the rhythm of this mountain community remains deeply connected to the land and its history.
For centuries, these fountains were the social heart of the village. It was here neighbors gathered daily. The clouds dictate life here.
This rare formation is a testament to the immense power of water, eroding even the hardest granite substrate over millennia.
Built in the 1600s, this church has watched over the village through centuries. Foraging is more than just gathering food. It's a tradition, teaching us which species are safe to.
The craft of mold carving was a specialized skill passed through families, with each pattern marking the producer's identity at the market.
These passages offered protection during heavy snowfall, and the courtyards served as shared areas for related families.
These narrow passages are relics of medieval urban planning. They offered defense and weather protection.
A true medieval engineering achievement. These precisely graded channels were built without modern equipment. These high mountain barns stored hay through brutal winters and served as emergency shelter for shepherds caught in sudden storms.
Essential infrastructure like this facility transformed laundry work from solitary labor into a vital social activity, strengthening community bonds.
These climbing roses have been cultivated by villagers for generations, serving both as decoration and as markers for the property boundaries.
Specific designs were passed through families, and the sound provided comfort to both animals and herders in fog or darkness.
These Alpine ceramics served local markets, their folk art motifs symbolizing fertility and protection, reflecting regional identity.
Walking alongside this river, you can see how it carved the valley over millennia. The fog transforms the familiar. We learn to navigate not by sight, but by sound and memory alone.
In these mountain communities, daily life is a climb. The stairs are more than just necessity. They are centuries ago, these stone slabs were split from local quarries. Each one then carried up the mountain by hand to form the roof you see today.
Traditional bread making is a cornerstone of community life, transforming simple grain into essential sustenance.
The physics of water wheel demonstrates how flowing water is converted into rotational force through a system of gears.
Unlike vast cathedrals, these intimate chapels allowed for personal devotion.
Villagers climbed these stairs daily carrying supplies, a vital connection especially during the long months of winter isolation.
This season represents both the bounty from final harvests and preparation for winter dormancy in the mountain forests.
Customers. In this environment, ambient mold and specific bacterial cultures break down the milk proteins, creating
The Ponte dei Salti has connected this community for over 400 years. Locals still consider this sacred ground.
This daily gift of magic hour transforms the ordinary landscape into extraordinary beauty, a fleeting moment reflecting time's passage.
In these alpine valleys, the night sky once guided us.
These balconies served multiple purposes, from drying herbs and curing meats to providing outdoor living space during brief summer months.
The winter descent was essential. It provided the fodder that sustained the community through the harshest months.
These terraces represent centuries of agricultural engineering, built with dry stone walls designed to
Traditional spinning transformed raw fleece into the yarn that clothed communities through harsh winters.
The metamorphic pressure creates these natural splitting planes. Understanding this structure is key to the craft.
A warm spring rain.
These mills provided essential service, grinding grain for the isolated community, and the millers passed their knowledge through generations.
Traditional Alpine wine production thrives in these stone cellars, where the naturally
Water is the lifeblood of these mountain communities. These ancient stones have felt countless rains over centuries.
Traditional locksmithing is one of the mysterious crafts, requiring both metallurgical knowledge and mechanical understanding.
Rooted in the Alpine environment, this tradition flourished during long winters. Carvers depicted
These high paths served as summer grazing routes. Shepherds would spend months in the mountains with their flocks, returning only when winter snow arrived.
Hay is essential winter fodder, but it must remain dry. Moisture can cause spontaneous combustion.
Considered sacred by early inhabitants, modern villagers continued the tradition, choosing to build around these glacial erratics rather than moving them.
the traditional kitchen is the heart of the home. Here, food preparation forged family bonds. These traditional wooden hay racks, or barchi, maximize sun and wind exposure while protecting the hay.
Etched in stone, these markers represent the delicate balance between individual ownership and the communal agreements that sustained mountain villages for centuries.
Embroidery tradition in Alpine regions where textile arts provided both functional household goods and supplemental income through sales to tourists.
Villagers made this descent daily to draw water, and during spring floods, the lower steps would often be underwater. More than engineering, these structures became social spaces. Here, travelers found shelter.
Traditional preservation techniques like cold smoking remove moisture and utilize antimicrobial compounds, allowing meat storage for months without refrigeration.
How these mountain communities developed rhythms tied to natural light, and how evening brought families together in.
As the dawn breaks, the valley fills with a sea of clouds. The villages emerge like islands.
The first significant snowfall signals the shift from autumn to the long alpine winter. This is late October.
These high alpine meadows explode with life during the brief summer window. Local beekeepers.
These celebrations unite families and reinforce community bonds through shared ritual and festivity.
The journey through these scales of observation shows how altitude reveals patterns previously hidden.
Opening these shutters each morning was a ritual, connecting the warmth of the home with the vast natural world just outside the mountain dwelling.
The rhythmic churning transformed the liquid cream into solid butter, providing essential fat and flavor that could be stored through the winter months. The first snowfall marks the shift from autumn to winter. We watch its characteristic, heavy wet snow versus
the complex structure of these old-growth forests, developed over centuries, provides vital habitat and stores immense amounts of carbon.
This is the tradition of summer alpine grazing. Shepherds would spend months completely alone.
These twice-yearly movements being high.
These simple tools connected food with identity and art, serving a practical function in communal baking.
The church's construction dates to the 1600s, serving as a spiritual anchor for this isolated community.
High above the village, the bells marked time and summoned worship, their sound forging an acoustic link across the mountain community.
Beekeeping in the Alpine regions is a centuries-old tradition, vital for the pollination of both wild and agricultural plants across the meadows.
These water systems date back centuries, representing the collective management of precious mountain water resources.
Smoking technology allowed communities to convert perishable fresh meat into stable protein sources. This ancient larch, estimated at 3 to 4 centuries old, has survived climate extremes and lightning strikes.
The mountain light, forever changing, taught us resilience and painted the inspiration for our finest crafts. This daily ritual marks the transition from day to night, creating a boundary between the public These structures were vital to mountain agriculture. Their thick stone walls and robust design protect.
More than just burial grounds, these gardens of memory provide solace, connecting us to those who came before.
The traditional craftsmanship allows these stones to be split and shaped. A properly constructed piode roof can last.
Patrons. In Alpine communities, Christmas is a time for honoring ancient traditions.
Carved by glacial meltwater over millennia, the river remains the lifeblood, connecting these high mountain sources to the valleys below. Living monuments that connect earth and sky, these trees link generations, offering continuity and identity across the centuries.
This tradition of folk art preserves the cultural memory of our community, honoring those who came before us.
As we dip the wicks, the beeswax builds slowly. This craft provided the primary artificial light in mountain communities during the long winter evenings.
The tradition of communal baking brought everyone together. Villagers would take turns using this oven.
The blacksmith played an essential role in mountain communities. Each piece of hardware, like this handle, was
explaining lace-making tradition and how this delicate craft created beauty and income for mountain communities.
The romance of the gaslight era transformed evening life, as these lamps created illuminated paths through the deepening darkness. This water purity comes from filtration through miles of rock, supporting populations of native trout that thrive in the cold, clean water.
Proper storage techniques allowed mountain communities to maintain vegetable consumption through the 8-month winters when nothing grew outdoors.
Here, surrounded by the peaks they cherished in life, these cemeteries represent the final connection between.
Traditional craftsmanship connected farmers intimately with their tools, fostering a relationship impossible with manufactured implements.
These covered bridges served practical needs, but also social functions. They became meeting places, even court. These markets were the heart of the community, sustaining commerce and forging the bonds that structured mountain life for generations.
The golden hour arrives, a timeless rhythm marking the transition from work to rest. As the shadows stretch,
the day's final gift before night. This fleeting spectacle reminds us of the vast forces of light. Constructed with enduring precision, this tower serves as both a visual and auditory landmark. Its bells.
Selective cutting ensures we gather essential fuel sustainably, maintaining the forest's health through careful management and natural regeneration.
The patience and precision of both spider engineering and mountain life, where careful preparation determines survival.
These trails were traditionally used by shepherds moving flocks to high summer pastures and by traders crossing mountain passes to neighboring valleys. These public displays of faith forge community bonds, honoring tradition. Mountain life teaches acceptance of the elements. We learn to work with the weather rather than fight against the constant changes. The organization of the colony reflects a simple truth. Individual effort ensures collective survival. As the bees fan their wings, the nectar transforms into this rich, golden honey, which they cap with pristine white wax once ripened.
The twice-daily milking created rhythms that structured farm life. It built an intimate knowledge of each animal.
In mountain cultures, dawn holds a sacred quality. It rewards the early risers with
The careful preservation of this mountain flora represents generations of traditional knowledge, ensuring these
Traditional cider making begins right after the autumn harvest. This ancient craft transforms our surplus apples into perspective is a gift of height. From here, the community reveals itself as a whole, intricately linked to the surrounding landscape.
How many sunsets has this old bridge seen? It stands as a timeless connection.
In these valleys, light is life itself. We thrive in the shadow, yes, but these gorges were considered sacred by early inhabitants. The sound of rushing water was believed to be the voice of mountain spirits.
Here, where the earth meets the heavens, the chapel rises above the sea of clouds.
These beads, carved from ancient wood, have absorbed the prayers of generations in these mountains.
Through steady, practiced motion, the cream.
This market was the heart of the mountain economy. Villagers traded their surplus produce and homemade mountain storms are nature's raw power unleashed. Yet, these bridges offered essential shelter.
This distinctive Alpine architecture features mushroom-shaped stone pillars. This elegant, simple
The traditional press extracts the juice, transforming the mountain harvest into wines that speak of this unique terroir and centuries of tradition.
In mountain communities, these molds transformed essential foods into works of art. The carvings often...
Traditional weaving transformed raw fiber into cloth, clothing our communities and providing a canvas for artistic expression through these patterns. Traversing these traditional routes required profound courage, forging connections across barriers that sought to isolate these communities.
Here, laundry work was traditionally communal. Women would gather, transforming necessary labor into social time.
Smoking technology allowed transforming perishable fresh meat into stable protein sources that could sustain communities through harsh winters. Regarded as sacred gifts from the mountain gods, these ancient stones are preserved by villagers, connecting the present moment with the deep past. Communal baking day brought everyone together. This shared oven ensured every family had bread for the week, reinforcing the bonds of the village community. These covered passages protected winter travelers from avalanches and falling ice, creating essential links between the different village elevations. This tradition allows us to maintain connections across generations, honoring the departed while providing comfort to the living. With each sunrise, the mountains receive the gift of light, a daily rebirth embraced with ancient gratitude and ritual. This phenomenon creates unique experiences where elevation determines completely different conditions within short distances. These high chapels served as pilgrimage destinations, and the difficult climb was considered spiritually purifying. Descending through the morning mist reveals how life adapts in these valleys. The fog shapes not just the landscape.
Wool production was vital to mountain economies. These distinctive regional patterns often identified where the textiles originated.
Manual processing connected farmers intimately with their grain, understanding its quality through physical engagement that modern machinery eliminates. When sight failed, villagers relied on mental maps, navigating these streets by memory and sound alone.
This demonstrates centuries of sustainable water management. Sophisticated communal agreements govern.
This manual sawing required tremendous physical effort and coordination.
Pull it up, cut it down, making lumber for the town.
Winter mornings in mountain homes, the frost patterns the first sight upon waking.
Bobbin lace making is a demanding craft.
transforming simple thread into delicate beauty through patient, precise work.
Traditional mountain home life, where large families lived in compact spaces, and each room served multiple functions through the day.
In these mountains, winter snow is seen not as an end, but as a blanket, keeping the departed.
Manual cutting requires perfect weather timing and tremendous physical effort, creating the winter feed that sustained both the animals and the humans.
This traditional mountain diet is built on the essentials: dairy, hearty bread, and aged cheese.
This ingenious mechanism uses water power to multiply human labor, creating the mechanical advantage. For these mountain communities, rain is more than weather.
This refreshing spring rain brings a sense of renewal after winter. It's essential moisture that...
The ancient rhythm of light and darkness shaped these mountain lives long before artificial illumination. As the final light fades from the summit, the mountain communities transition from the day's labor to evening's rest. To the early mountain inhabitants, these waterfalls were sacred places, symbolizing eternal renewal through their constant, powerful flow.
When 3 feet of snow makes wheeled transport impossible, the raw power of these draft horses provides essential supplies to the village.
Passed down through generations, these copper pots were valued possessions. Their usefulness maintained through regular decorative molds transformed simple products into attractive market goods, identifying producers and preventing fraud.
These forests sustained mountain communities, providing fuel and building materials. It was a relation.
The sound of these bells structured daily life, creating temporal landmarks and community connections that transcended visual boundaries.
Traditional sheep management involves the seasonal movement of flocks, shifting them between the low winter pastures and these high summer grazing lands.
The twice-daily milking routine structures farm life, creating an intimate connection where each animal is known by name and personality.
The tradition of marking buildings with dates connects us, across centuries, to the hands that first shaped this enduring stone.
Traditional farriery is a skilled trade combining metalworking with animal knowledge, creating an essential service that kept horses working.
Wetlands serve vital ecological functions, filtering water and providing habitat.
Inside these walls, summer's bounty becomes winter's sustenance. Careful preservation technique.
The short mountain growing season requires intensive cultivation and careful planning.
This essential craft transforms the raw wool fibers, drawing them out and adding the twist that turns loose flutters.
The Via Ferrata provides access to breathtaking vertical landscapes. While the exposure is thrilling,
harvest festivals have long marked the changing seasons, reinforcing community bonds.
Mountain weather is famously unpredictable. Here, communities learned quickly how to read the sky signs.
Here, on the longest night, the winter solstice marks both maximum darkness and the promise of returning light.
Water connects the highest peaks with the deepest valleys, sustaining all life on its endless journey to the sea.
This traditional Alpine granary represents essential food security infrastructure.
The blacksmith's essential role in mountain communities is evident in this hardware, a significant investment passed through generations.
For centuries, this festival has marked the turning of the seasons, reinforcing the community bonds that define who we are. These gatherings connected producers with consumers, creating regional food systems while maintaining quality standards.
The intense heat transforms raw limestone into the quicklime, essential for mortar and plaster.
This distinctive wildflower honey, sourced from traditional mountain beekeeping, was prized for both eating and its medicinal properties.
This ancient craft created textiles that clothed and sheltered communities, allowing artistic expression through pest. The daily cycle of mist formation and clearing is a defining feature of these valleys. Locals once predicted.
This brief seasonal display in the mountain forests marks time.
In isolated mountain communities, careful storage meant the difference between a comfortable winter and starvation.
Traditional beekeeping is an ancient partnership. It provides us with precious sweetener while maintaining pollination services vital to agriculture.
The mountains stand revealed in perfect clarity. These rare days were traditionally celebrated. The storm rages, a spectacular display of nature's power. It is in moments like these.
There's a magic to discovering these hidden mountain villages, places where time seems to slow down completely.
It's a striking visualization of how elevation dictates climate. Below the inversion layer, autumn persists. If we only slow down and truly look upward, the layers of this magnificent landscape rises. Here, traditional craft preserves techniques that predate mechanization. It is the continuation of method.
The true magic of these villages lies in the balance they strike, preserving tradition while fostering a living, breathing community.
Unchanged for centuries, this process connects us to the past. The true knowledge lives not in books, but in hands weathered by the work.
This work is a choice to preserve our cultural landscape. It's about valuing continuity of method.
For generations, these churches have served as anchors, providing spiritual connection and physical landmarks in the vast landscape.
Handweaving represents a resistance to industrial efficiency. The slight imperfections in handmade textiles carry the signature of their maker.
A timeless harmony exists here, where farming traditions adapt to work with rather than against.
Months of alpine summer, tens of thousands of bees visiting millions of flowers.
These villages maintain their authentic Swiss character, charming visitors who seek beauty and tranquility in the mountains.
Esse ist parat.
Here, life unfolds daily beneath the eternal peaks. A simple existence.
Such carving represents skills developed over lifetimes that cannot be rushed or abbreviated.
Bridges are connections, not just between places. Working with natural dyes requires a partnership with the plants and patience with processes that cannot be rushed.
The raw power of nature is channeled through these vertical landscapes. Glacial meltwater has carved these features over millennia.
There are places on Earth designed to remind us of our small place in these vast natural systems.
This dramatic sequence shows a fog inversion. Cold air drainage fills the valley basin.
Water journeys from snow on distant peaks, through stone channels carved over ages, to this moment of explosive release and transformation into mist. Orographic lift causes these storms to explode with little warning. It's a raw display of power, delivering vital water while it took immense courage and engineering skill to carve these mountain paths, opening up perspectives once reserved for expert climbers.
The eternal cycle of water begins as snow on the peaks, flowing through glaciers and waterfalls.
The mountains force moist air to rise, causing cooling and condensation. This orographic effect results in dramatic...
Mountain communities have always built their settlements in relationship to water, the life-giving resource that flows from the heights.
As the temperature rises with the morning sun, the frost crystals begin to sublimate, a direct transition from ice to vapor. Water creates hidden wonders within mountains, carving secret channels over millennia by patient erosion.
The same location offers dramatically different experiences based on the weather. The raw power of the storm versus
This rapid transformation highlights the danger of alpine storms. Orographic lifting turns clear skies violent.
From ground level, the cliffs tower endlessly. But from this elevation, the valley reveals itself as an...
Precipitation measurement in mountain valleys is crucial for hydrology, agriculture, and climate monitoring.
Gravity and fluid dynamics operate at every scale in nature. The persistence of water gradually reshapes solid rock.
We're observing the 0-degree isotherm, the elevation where temperature hovers near freezing. It's the critical boundary where rain transitions to snow.
In these temporary gardens, the entire annual cycle must complete in just months between snowmelt.
The rapid passage of this front demonstrates the extreme unpredictability of alpine weather. The same conditions that
Swiss Alpine art presents centuries of refined development, adapting to heavy snow loads requiring steepers.
This symbiotic relationship between alpine farmers and their landscape allows traditional practices to maintain.
More than 2 centuries later, this door represents sustainability through quality. It speaks to the Swiss cultural value of tradition and continuity.
This meadow exists within a balanced ecological gradient, intricately connected to the forests below and the bare rock above.
This traditional architecture evolved through centuries of refinement, perfectly adapted to the climate, using local, sustainable materials.
The incredible complexity contained in a single flower, an evolutionary refinement that created this perfect pollinator attractant. The deep relief carvings, showing stylized Edelweiss, and the blessing, "God bless this house," 8.
This time-lapse reveals how different layers of time operate simultaneously in nature.
The tradition of alpine window boxes is a cultural hallmark. It blends aesthetic beauty with community pride.
Different perspectives reveal different truths.
The structural logic of log construction utilizes horizontal members for compressive strength and lateral stability. This delicate dance highlights the interconnections in meadow ecology.
Though their original purpose is obsolete, fountains remain heritage elements, central gathering points that connect the present to the past.
The rhythm of mountain days, where the golden hour represents transition and transformation.
The chalets operates on the principle of thermal mass.
This traditional alpine barn, built with massive timbers and sophisticated joinery, integrates animal housing below.
These stone villages are archives of human adaptation.
The church serves as the community anchor, fulfilling religious, social, and civic functions.
The history of Swiss mountain transport is one of overcoming immense engineering challenges.
The piode technique uses locally sourced stone, relying on gravity and geometry rather than adhesives or fasteners. This architecture reflects the mountain experience itself, moments of expansive beauty alternating with cozy shelter.
Mountains. While originally built for commerce, they now primarily serve tourism, raising the question of whether easy access enhances.
Alpine villages demonstrate vertical integration.
Maintaining these alpine refuges presents significant logistical challenges, with all supplies and waste typically requiring helicopter transport.
These walls are living structures, representing sustainable building using only local materials.
As we rise above the village, the immense scale of the mountains becomes apparent. It highlights the resilience. These structures are massive infrastructure investments, designed to resist enormous impact forces and protect the vulnerable zones below.
In this timeless village square, daily patterns repeat, a dance of light and life.
The wood was allowed to age naturally without preservatives, yet remains functional. The weathering adds beauty.
As a critical energy source, Swiss hydropower now provides an extraordinary 60% of the nation's electricity.
How few places on Earth remain so wild and untouched? These peaks represent the planet's last great wildernesses.
At this elevation, every component must be flown in. The thin air and violent winds push helicopters to their absolute limit.
The alpine environment reveals its contrasting faces. While northern slopes remain cloaked in shadow,
weather changes rapidly at high altitude. These narrow ridges can be incredibly dangerous, demanding proper equipment and experience for safety.
The timing is crucial now. We must separate the kurds from the way.
Exactly at these. This sweeping view captures the ecological stratification of the mountain, from the forest floor to the glacier.
These festivals play a vital role.
Mountain weather changes rapidly. What begins as a clear morning can quickly become hazardous, demanding constant vigilance and respect for the elements. Photographers have long been drawn to capture these fleeting moments of perfect light. The golden hour is brief.
This Erntedank display symbolizes our gratitude for the harvest. The bread represents the...
The view is the reward. But as they say, the summit is only halfway.
Schau einmal die schöne Sache dort.
Die Glühwein ist aber auch fein.
Gern geschehen.
As the morning sun hits the highest peaks, the valley fog begins to lift.
We use a very sharp precision knife for these continuous flowing cuts. It takes a steady hand, especially on the intricate alpine motifs.
The architecture forces constant interaction, creating strong social bonds. Yet, balance.
This dramatic sea of clouds forms when cold, dense air is trapped in the valley. But as the sun heats the atmosphere,
haymaking is essential for winter survival.
providing feed when animals cannot graze.
Alpine thunderstorms form through orographic lifting as mountain terrain forces moist air upward, leading to convective instability.
The mesmerizing green light you see is air glow, caused by oxygen atoms recombining in the upper atmosphere.
The value of traditional craft lies in the precision of hand tools and the attention to detail.
As the air descends the leeward slope, it compresses and heats up significantly, resulting in air that is much warmer and drier in the valley.
The warmth in this scene represents the continuity of family and place.
It's very nice.
The aurora forms as solar particles collide with atmospheric atoms, transferring energy. The colors, primarily green from...
Good morning, Walter. How are you today? Very well, thank you, Maria. I'll take 3 of those yellow peppers.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
This dramatic orange-brown haze is Saharan dust, transported thousands of kilometers from Africa by up.
As the sun dips below the horizon, these ethereal noctilucent clouds ignite high in the mesosphere, shining electric blue against the twilight.
Strong updrafts in these supercell thunderstorms carry particles above the freezing level repeatedly, allowing accretion until the weight overcomes the updraft strength.
These deep blue fissures reveal layers of ancient snowfall, curving and folding as the glacier deforms under immense pressure. In the demanding alpine environment, the marmot's sophisticated communication system and sentinel behavior are
The Edelweiss is a member of the daisy family, Asteraceae. It thrives in extreme alpine conditions thanks to adaptation.
What seems static is intensely dynamic. These daily freeze-thaw cycles are now dominated by melting.
The magnificent golden eagle, master of the alpine winds. Using thermal updrafts, it climbs effortlessly.
We're witnessing a major calving event. Calving rates are increasing as warmer temperatures periods. The water cascading into this moulin eventually reaches the glacier bed, lubricating the interface between
rivers. Far from being waste, this decaying log is teeming with life. It provides essential habitat and
Mountains create their own weather. The rapid formation of these clouds demonstrates how quickly conditions can turn dangerous at high elevation. The chamois are perfectly adapted to this demanding environment. Their specialized hooves provide traction, allowing
Pantrace. This remarkable adaptation, known as CAM photosynthesis, allows the houseleek to absorb carbon dioxide at night.
Strategically placed, the web detects the slightest vibration. When prey hits the capture spiral, the spider responds instantly, wrapping the insect in specialized silk. The tree line represents the upper limit of tree growth, primarily determined by temperature.
Here we see the whey being separated, the resulting cheese wheel, preserving the good months.
The decomposition occurring in this layer recycles nutrients, making them available for new growth. This unseen
transhumance allows these cattle to exploit the rich.
Hay is critical for alpine agriculture. For 6 months, livestock must be barn-fed, and hay provides the primary fodder.
Mountain streams are vital ecological corridors, providing clean water and supporting biodiversity throughout the forest ecosystem.
Dairy farming truly is the backbone of alpine agriculture, sustaining a relationship built on centuries of tradition and mutual trust.
As we ascend, we reveal progressive elevation zones and management intensities, utilizing rotational grazing to maximize.
The interaction between root and rock, visible here, represents centuries of slow adaptation.
Once essential infrastructure, these fountains became community anchors. Today, they remain cherished.
Morning heating breaks the temperature inversion, causing the fog to lift from the valley floor. This atmospheric moisture is a vital water input.
The boundary between burned and unburned forest is surprisingly sharp. But this simple interpretation misses the
legend. This cultural landscape, shaped by centuries of settlement and farming, represents a continuous effort.
The beauty of this glade reflects a healthy, functioning ecosystem.
The return of the wolf has strained this ancient practice, making the role of the guardian dogs more vital than ever.
Perfectly adapted to the alpine environment, the chamois navigate these steep meadows with incredible precision. During the Pleistocene glaciation, massive valley glaciers repeatedly advanced and retreated, eroding the landscape.
The golden eagle, a symbol of wilderness, mastering the mountain winds.
Glacial abrasion occurs when rock fragments embedded in the glacier base grind across the bedrock, creating these distinct scratches and polish.
These highly social animals exhibit complex relationships and cooperative predator vigilance. Their ability.
The mountain building began 35 million years ago with the collision of the African and European plates.
Rock glaciers are distinctive landforms consisting of ice and rock mixtures flowing slowly downslope. Rising before us is a glacial erratic, this massive granite block weighing over 100 tons.
The bearded vulture occupies a unique niche. This specialized bone eater accelerates nutrient cycling in the high. The sweeping drone sequence reveals the cirque morphology. These massive amphitheater shapes are the alpine newts are uniquely adapted to the harsh conditions of high mountain environments, utilizing these clear ponds for their short summer breeding season.
This lateral tracking shot reveals the dramatic evidence of tonic deformation in an alpine fault zone.
These secretive predators are rarely seen, yet vital to the ecosystem. Watch how the lynx uses its from the roaring melt of spring to the silent snows of winter, the valley sleeps and awakens, an eternal cycle of renewal and dormancy. Alpine streams show predictable zonation. As we descend, warming waters allow for greater diversity and complex food webs.
The brief but intense beauty of alpine summer, when valleys become gardens and every day feels timeless.
The cooler winds signal the harvest. Soon, we welcome the herds descending from the high pastures. Winter reveals the essential architecture of place, when all decoration is stripped away. These deep basins, carved by ancient glaciers, are characterized by exceptionally clear, cold, and nutrient-poor.
The water continues its patient work regardless of the season. It marks time while remaining timeless.
The time-lapse captures the snowmelt flood, a critical geomorphic event that reshapes the channel by transporting huge amounts of sediment.
Beneath the snow, the seeds and roots wait in dormancy, carrying memory and promise of return.
Alpine stream invertebrates form a critical link in the food web. They convert primary production into biomass, serving as essential prey for fish and birds.
Marking seasons more accurately than any calendar, the waterfall transitions from the snowmelt of spring through summer and autumn rain.
From spring's thaw to winter's embrace, the valley transforms. Yet, the mountain watches on, and eternal.
This extreme environment supports limited aquatic diversity. Species must show remarkable adaptations to survive.
Supercooled water rapidly freezes as anchor ice on the stream bed and phrasal ice on the surface, demonstrating the swift transition from flowing water to solid cover.